We go. Okay, good afternoon, abnormals, and welcome back. Wait, that's a little bit loud. A little bit loud for me. I don't know if it's loud for the stream itself. Good afternoon, abnormals, and welcome back to the Ministry of Abnormality Thrift Star Broadcast. I'm your host, Abnormal, and today is Friday, January something of something. January 13th. Wait, Friday the 13th. Oh, man, I missed the opportunity to do an art challenge with something horrible. But here we are. Welcome back to the show. Mao, hello. Pew, hello. Still can be horrible? Well, yeah, but I already gave the topic for the art challenge like yesterday, so maybe if somebody did like any kind of preparation, it would be kind of an asshole move to change it suddenly. Yeah, when is the next Friday the 13th? Friday 13th, 2023. That would be ooh, we have one in October. So, okay. Something horrible on the road. Well, there is that, yes. So anyway, hello everybody. Hello Mao and Pew. Today is Friday, and it is the Friday art challenge. And our topic today is on the road. And the reason our topic today is on the road is because we just bought a new motorcycle. We just did. And so we have the road on our minds. We don't have it yet. Like, it's not in our garage. We're waiting for all the papers to kind of be, settled and all that kind of stuff. And for the insurance to kick in, but we've paid for it. So I mean, we definitely paid for it. So yeah, we got a new motorcycle, and we are very excited, and we are very much looking forward to taking it for a ride. So yeah, that's a thing, right? That's a thing, and so I have that idea of on the road in my mind, and that's why today's topic is going in that direction. Now, like I said when I explained in the Discord about today's topic, the plan. Wait, I'm missing a light. I have absolutely no plan to finish this image today. Yeah, I don't plan to finish this image today. I want to take my time with it. Sabrina, hello, beautiful. Yeah, I have no plan to finish this image today. I don't even want to. I want to take my time with it because I want to do something fun. Not that I can't have fun if I'm working quickly, but I want to do something big with it. Maybe record and then edit it into a video to use on YouTube, stuff like that. So yeah, you know, I got that going on. So today I'm actually going to be thumbnailing and just exploring ideas and that kind of stuff, which is a great way to start off the year because, you know, kind of loosen up with thumbnails and stuff like that. Epic Samurai, yes, I am doing great today. Thank you. So yeah, we're in a very celebratory mood today because of the new bike. After the stream is done, we're gonna order some, I don't know if pizza or burgers. That's gonna be up to Pew. Depending what mood she's in, and then we're gonna watch some movies in the evening. So yeah, a nice, fun Friday, and here we are. So let's move over to 36 hours render time. What? How long is the video you're rendering, or is it 3D? Okay, so we're gonna start and see what comes up. Willem, do you wanna come here? Say hello to people? Come on, Willem. Oh, now you don't want to show up? Mom, be on the stream. You're so good looking. No? No? Oh, wow. Okay, the... Wait. I can fix this. I can fix this. Fix this. Now. Hello, bully. Really? Oh, wait, this is news for me too. Pew, congratulations. Where? My mic volume can be a bit loud. Well, okay. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna lower the volume on the music, and that way, maybe. Phew, that's very exciting. Where? Oh, okay. Well, I did lower the music volume, so now you can probably... Oh, really? Okay. You, that's awesome. When is the interview? Okay, that should have a little bit more volume. Oh, that's a little bit too much volume. That should be good enough. Okay. Next Thursday, virtual. Oh, and so convenient too. Oscar, hello. I just got some pretty uh no, I guess it's not sucky news, but I mean no, wait. That sounds way dramatic. So let's not say it that way because it sounds like I got like some really bad news. Like no, but so university starts on Monday, and I thought that my schedule was going to be Monday mornings, Wednesday mornings, and Thursday mornings. And Thursday, I now have what here we call Pico y Placa, which I've told you guys about before. It's a day of the week that I can't take my vehicle out, right? Um, So the idea is that okay, Wednesdays since I have Pico y Placa, Wednesdays I'll go on my bicycle. It's a long ride, it's a hard ride, but I'll just go in the morning, ride back on my bicycle, have lunch, take a break, and then sit down and get some work done. And that's today we don't go to the gym. Well, today I found out that my Wednesday schedule is not Wednesday morning, but it's actually Wednesday morning from 8 to 10, and then Wednesday afternoon from 3 to 6, which sucks because I can't go in my motorcycle that day. And it's too far away for me to ride back at 10 a.m. and then ride back at 3 and then ride back at 6 p.m. So, and the thing is, I have permission to teach the class virtual, but last semester, virtual class had such poor results. I think that this is just a theory, but I honestly think that after the pandemic, the students just do not want virtual classes. They just don't. Um, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna figure out there. I might have to just take it and lose Wednesdays in terms of work. Uh, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Volumetric fog, Nishita lighting, and Psychos kind of stress ups my GPU. What GPU do you have? So, everybody, tell me about your weeks. Tell me what is up, and tell me the plan for the weekend. Ah, okay. A 1070. I have. Let's not kill Roberto. But I have a friend that he is a 3D artist. He works in 3D, and he was working on a 1070, and it just like I used to work on a 1080, and and I'm not even a 3D artist. I just do sometimes 3D just to see what happens. And even then, like it would take so long sometimes that I would just reconsider things. And to think that this guy was like a full-on 3D artist, um, working on a 1070. So man, I feel for you. I feel for you. And also, I mean, you're rendering at I did not. No, I did not remember that was your account, Epic Samurai. I was here like, who the hell is Epic Samurai? Who am I talking to? Do do like nobody be amazed if I don't know who you are here for now. For now, Night Cow, hello. So how is everybody's week ending? Uh, Here at the Abnormal Household, we have this is a great week. We got some great news today. Fuse got her job interview. You know, new wheels, food tonight. Yeah. Orendon. Okay. Yeah, Ma? Well, I don't know. I mean, with all those stores you have close to my house. I mean, of course, I'm not going to make these normal bikes. I'm going to go something sci-fi, post-apocalyptic, but for now. Productive week so far. Got my Christmas present from Anna, a Loish art book. That's awesome. I started learning to draw recently, so I guess this weekend is going to be more of it. Usually just do a bit after work. Well, that's pretty cool. How are you learning? Are you taking like some kind of a specific course? There's one idea. As always, we get the most basic ideas out first. So, who's with me in today's art challenge? Random stuff you found on the internet. Any suggestions are welcome. What do I suggest for learning to draw? I think before suggesting anything, my first question would be, what level are we talking about? Like, what is your honest level? And when I say honest, I don't mean tell me how bad you are. Um, I mean because a lot of times when you ask people about their level, they'll lie and say they're a lot better than they are. Sure. But a lot of times, and I find that more often than not, people will lie about how good they are. So everybody will say, like, oh no, like I can barely draw at all. And no, they actually do have some skill. Too much 3D work right now, Night Calvo. That's awesome. Well, I don't know. I mean, like for example, if you told me that you were Michelangelo level, then I'd say, "Oh, okay, so you can't draw women." Like that would be. It's not always so obvious. Beginner, I would say. I mean, I can copy some stuff and it looks decent, but no real knowledge about drawing, painting, shading, light, or any of the cool stuff you guys talk about. So you want to sit with the cool kids, huh? You want to sit with the cool kids and talk about perspective and okay. Um okay, what about like how much how much do you not how much do you draw in terms of how well you draw, but like, are you a person that is already used to drawing quite a bit, or are you a person that just the simple act of sitting and drawing is not something that you're used to? If I'm making any sense. I'm going to conclude, Mao, that the way Michelangelo did that was that he actually took oranges, cut them in half, and just pasted it onto the dude's chests. And that's how it was done. That's gonna be that's gonna be my conclusion from now on. That's how Michelangelo got his shit done. Oh wow, wait, I'm on YouTube. I shouldn't say that. That's how Michelangelo got his poopy done. Yeah, because we all know this live stream is being monetized. So delicious man chest orange juice. Oh, I haven't been recording. Damn it. Okay. Speaking of recording, one of the things I've noticed with my clients this year, not Mongoose though, but with some others of my clients, is that they're asking for a lot more steps of the process, and I'm wondering if AI has anything to do with that. Because I was working with a client just today, and they were asking me for a lot more steps um, in the process. Uh, um, like they want to see every single step now, and I'm totally okay with that. Like I have no problem showing every single step. I'm not shy that way. But yeah, like oh wow, is that I didn't ask him if that's why it was. This is a new client, so I'm not I'm not gonna bother them just now. But I do wonder. Found the Blender add-on that generates brick walls. Probably one of the best time setting things I ever got. Uh uh you're getting the same with 3D work. I meant to ask, Felix, why do you render at such high uh, uh sample rate? Like, why are you rendering at such a high sample rate? Yeah, but I mean, 2048, like that's that's a lot. I get it if it's like required for something, uh, um, because if it's gonna be used, uh, uh, in any capacity, but like if it's something that you're rendering for yourself, why not go a little bit lower? Yeah, it just seems like it's a very very high demand for something that, like, if you're gonna show it online, you're still not gonna be able to perceive that level. So I don't see any reason to do it in such a way unless it's going to be used. Time Pool, hello. I feel with environments it gives more realism. All goose and some part of portfolio online references. Yeah, but my point is that like if you're gonna show it online, the loss of quality, like for the size that you're gonna show it online, and where it's gonna be shown, makes it so that you can lower those parameters a little bit, right? Like, yeah, exactly. Like you're gonna show it on, I don't know, Instagram or maybe one of the new uh, ones because we're not doing apps, we're not doing ArtStation anymore. So right now I'm doing I'm in one called Kara.app, but that one is invite only, and I'm not invited yet. I'm waiting for my to be approved. But like that you're not going to be able to upload that level of quality to it. So I mean, you keep the files, and then if you need it, you render it at that size. Oh, on the road, it's always meant to be interpreted however you want. So don't worry about that. Ah, I'm glad you're here though, Time Pool. Yeah, kind of that app looks very promising. Why not ArtStation anymore, Epic Samurai? Because ArtStation uh went with AI. ArtStation went with AI images, and they did not. Um, ArtStation got invaded by AI, and after all the protests, they really didn't do anything uh, with against AI. So I don't know if you can post link. I'm relatively new at live streaming on YouTube. Um, I think I did register to Art.io. I haven't posted anything, but I did register. Did I? Yes, I have a profile there. Yep, yeah. I have an Art.io. Um, I also have a Kara.app, but I'm not approved on Kara.app yet. And um, uh, uh, do it. Yeah. Like Typool says, like they not only didn't get rid of AI, but they made it even worse by banning people protesting AI. So I haven't shut down my art station, but I wasn't paying a lot of attention to it anyway. Um, so yeah, it was definitely time to look for another one. Mastodon, I'm not convinced by Mastodon, and besides, that's more as a replacement for Twitter than anything else. Uh, there's also Artfall, but Artfall barely works. So that one is not convincing me yet. Caradot app seems to have some very high level artists supporting it, so that one shows a lot of promise. And Art.io, I have it, but I haven't really looked too much into it, so. You saw this coming last year? What, the whole ArtStation debacle? Oh man, I wish we still had CG Hub. I wish we still had CG Hub. CG Hub was so good. Okay, this one might be going a little bit further into complexity. Give me a second. I'm getting a phone call, please. Oh. Damn it. Telemarketing. Oh, what if I did uh it's gonna matter because at the end of this all the employer will look for is authenticity in a creator. I I don't know. I don't mind that like result. You know like employers have I been in a car accident recently? No, I bought a motorcycle yesterday. Uh, uh, um, Okay, the scope of this one is going a little bit above what I would consider to be practical, but it's fun. Okay. So what do you think can go wrong? Everyone just starts incorporating it in workspaces. Um, so far I really haven't seen it as a problem. I'm sure that there's a downside because everything has a downside, right? Um, but so far I haven't really seen a problem with it. My clients ask me for more steps, and I just give them more steps. That's it. That's a really not a problem for me. What time is the art challenge? The art challenge doesn't end today. I'm kind of doing big scope on this one, so art challenge will be. There's gonna be a several week challenge, so I don't really like, no need to rush it. Uh, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't want my job to be cleanup artist for AI images. Absolutely, absolutely, and I think that if the price I have to pay is just to show a little bit more of how I make what I make, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. If the process has to be that I have to prove that I'm a human being, I'm not offended. I'm not offended. Sometimes yeah, sure, maybe sometimes it's not 100% clear that I am, or whatever. I don't know. My point is, I think it's a small price to pay uh, to keep things at least somewhat balanced. There are a lot of things in the whole AI wars, as as Night Cow calls them, um, that that I that I like that have happened, right? And one of them is that now, whenever you see uh, art tests for jobs are going to be more common. No, no, that hasn't been said, and you don't have to worry about that, Medina. Um, you're two steps away from making the rules here. Like, come on. I don't know how to make you a mod though. I don't really. I don't really. Oh, wait. You're now a moderator. Haha. Wait, wait, wait. Let me find Mao. Uh, uh oh, I don't know YouTube either. Sabrina, we're learning. We're learning. I don't know what I'm doing here either. Uh, I agree that art tests might become more common, but I've never I've never minded art tests. Um, yeah, I've never minded art tests, so I've always been okay with that. Skills I could do. Problem is anatomy and posing. Oh wait. Let me see above. I bit off more than I might be able to with this client, doing a full body portrait of their OC, which is a dragon-like monster. Guess what? I'm not good at drawing animals and like. Uh, okay. Thanatos. Hello. Odyssey 5? Oh, you lost me there, Pretender. And hello. Oh, well, I mean, yeah. No. I see what you guys are saying, but not all art tests are made equal. Yes. Absolutely. Not all art tests are equal. Not all art tests are good. For example, uh, uh, well, I can't really talk about the art tests that I've taken because a lot of them have NDAs and stuff. But for example, Mongoose, which I will happily talk about Mongoose because I got nothing bad to say anyway. Um, Mongoose, for example, pays for their art tests. So and they like if the image has to go really poorly for them not to, but Mongoose pays for the art test and uses the image. Um, wait, this is licensed stuff. This is okay. Wait, where's the League of Legends playlist? That's all stream safe. Riot Games. Okay. Uh, yeah, no, and actually, I was gonna say that one, somebody like. There's also art tests where you just sign the contract saying that they can't use it. So either they pay you for the art test, or you sign a contract saying that they can't use it. And oh, Thanatos, remember that we're not finishing this art challenge today. This is gonna be a long art challenge. I think there's a lot of stuff that can be solved if we were simply not afraid to ask. Right? Like it doesn't have to be like because there are ways of asking things. Okay, this is going to sound weird, but there are ways of asking things without being an asshole about it, right? So, if you're in conversations with the company and they tell you to take an art test, it's not difficult to ask them if the art test is paid. Um, uh, and it's not difficult to ask them if uh hey, is there a contract for the art test and stuff these aren't difficult things to ask, but I think a lot of times we're too embarrassed or too afraid to ask a lot of things, and we just end up uh, um like in messed up situations simply because we didn't ask. Uh, and then like I mean, just like if you ask for a contract or payment with your art test and they tell you no and no and no, then maybe you just dodged a bullet there and you shouldn't be working with those people. Uh, Lead character is what's his name? Peter. Is that Peter Wellers? Yeah. What I would add to what Sabrina is saying is uh don't ask if there is compensation, but do mention it. Like never assume. Like, just go like, "Oh, okay, so what's the compensation?" But don't assume that there's compensation because a lot of times that's where that's where they get you. I think we don't need that car in the background. Oh, it's a series. Oh, I thought it was a movie. I once applied for a job that had 3 rounds of interviews, a paid art test, but when they were offering me the job and money was brought up, they said it was a volunteer position, even though that wasn't listed anywhere, and they paid for the art test. I was so confused. That is so weird. Um, that is so weird. You know what I hate? LinkedIn. LinkedIn sends me job alerts for volunteer work, and I don't know. Maybe there's like maybe I'm not getting it, but like LinkedIn, do you even know what you are? Like, do you even know why people use you? Like, why are you? I think I need to learn to use LinkedIn better. I've never really gotten much out of it, but I think I need to learn to get more out of it. You know what I like to use a lot for reference time pool? I like to use a lot um Sketchfab. Like you're gonna find some beautiful 3D dragons on Sketchfab, and the reason I like to use it so much as reference is because you can turn them around, see them from different angles, all that kind of stuff. Um, and so I really, really get a lot of use out of Sketchfab that way because I not only get like good references that are not in the same technique that I'm going to be working on, uh, but also I can look at them from different angles and stuff like that. So I like Sketchfab a lot. I use it a lot for animals, for example. It's great for animals because you find like some incredible 3D stuff that, of course, you would have to pay for if you want the 3D model. But in Sketchfab, you can rotate it, zoom in, all that kind of stuff. A lot of them, like a lot of the higher level ones, come with animation and all that kind of stuff. So you can get a really good reference out of that. Oh, Night Cow. That is. Wait. Can you post links in here or not? You'd think I would know, seeing that this is my YouTube channel, but you'd be wrong. Uh, it's got dragon shape and such for the most, but it's got humany shoulders and arms. So it's a dragon tar, a centaur of a dragon. Um, by the way, I just invented that, so that is now my IP. Do not steal. Yeah, let's reference this because I don't think that's how you drift on a motorcycle. I'm pretty sure they sit down on it. Like I got this guy drifting on the motorcycle standing up. I'm pretty sure that's not how it's done. Okay, found myself a pretty cool reference. Well, I'm not. I was actually talking to Pew about that today. That with the new motorcycle, one of the things I want is I want to learn to drive it at a more advanced level. Not necessarily, like to do stunts or stuff like that. I'm not really interested in that. I just want to become a better, a better pilot. Uh, mm, uh, but but I don't know. I mean, like I'm pretty sure standing up like while you're drifting is not a good idea. I don't know. For all if anybody here knows about that, just let me know. But I would my guess would be if it's drifting, don't stand up. I suppose this is where somebody tells me like, dude, I've won the rally 10 times and the car and all that kind of stuff, and dude, I totally stand when it drifts. Um Sabrina, one of the things we're doing with this new motorcycle is that we are going to be investing a lot more in safety gear. So we're buying like the full armor jacket, armored pants. Um, I mean, we already have helmets. It's illegal to ride without a helmet. Uh, but jacket, armored. Like the jacket has like a armor on your spine and shoulders, elbows, gloves. Like we're investing in all that kind of stuff because, well, Nikel, that's not a bad point because, like, I mean, if you look at the image that I already made, like this one, I'm pretty sure there's several things being done there that that you're not supposed to do. So, yeah. Uh, am I currently? No, no, I don't mind you asking. Don't worry, Thanatos. And yes, I am currently in Colombia. Um, put our hand here, our other hand here. So yeah, Sabrina, we're like really taking safety issues seriously because that is actually one of the reasons that we're changing the motorcycle. Well, I mean, we already changed it, so that's one of the reasons that we decided to change the motorcycle in the first place, because the motorcycle I used to have was beautiful, but that was about it. Like, it was very pretty, um, but that was it for what the motorcycle had in its favor. It was beautiful and fat and wide and it looked amazing. Like, it would definitely get people staring, but um it was as basic as a motorcycle can get. So the brakes were like just regular brakes, and for a motorcycle that heavy, regular brakes are not great, because since the motorcycle is so heavy, as soon as you hit the brakes, the motorcycle slides. So we got a lot of scares of that motorcycle with slides, um and so we decided, like, yeah, we want a motorcycle that has more safety features, like modern brakes and stuff like that. One of the things about the motorcycle we used to have is that I don't even know if that motorcycle can be used, like, in Europe, because I found out, like, just yesterday or something, that so the brake system that these motorcycles use, which has a bunch of safety features, is apparently mandatory for European motorcycles. Give me a second. I'm sorry. My insurance guy is talking to me about the motorcycle. Uh, I hate AI art because of how cool certain AI can make. Found this cool drawing of a cat and I want to favor it, but I don't want, because it. Oh, if anything I see as AI, I immediately discard it. Like, nope. Okay. Please excuse me for a couple of minutes, because there seems to be an issue with the insurance for the motorcycle, and I have to solve it right now. So I have to listen to a message that my insurance guy sent me. So give me a second, please. Okay, I apologize, but I'm gonna need 5 minutes because I have to write a letter to my insurance company. This is gonna take me 5 minutes. I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. I can still see the chat room, and I actually am seeing conversation that I want to be a part of. But I have to do this right now, so I'm still here. I'm just gonna mute the microphone, and And yeah, I'll be here, and this should just take me a couple of minutes. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for that interruption. The whole thing is that the since I bought a new motorcycle. Wait, sorry, give me a sec. So many interruptions. How much is this one? So the thing is, I need insurance for the motorcycle, of course, and motorcycle insurance is insanely expensive. Um, so, but I did not expect it to be this much more uh, expensive. Um, what? Wait, and have to hear something again? Okay, sorry about the constant interruptions. So, like I was saying, the story here is that for the new motorcycle that I bought, I of course need insurance, right? I'm not gonna. I already did that stupid thing 7 years ago where I had a motorcycle without insurance. That was not smart. So for this one, I'm like, okay, you know what? Gotta have insurance. Gotta be there. So the thing about motorcycle insurance is that motorcycle insurance is very expensive. Um, uh, and I guess, stupid me, I didn't realize that the insurance for the new motorcycle would be more expensive than the one I used to have. It's more than double. And the other problem is that the insurance I used to have um doesn't, like, they don't cover the motorcycle that I got. So I have to cancel my insurance, which I was sending a letter. That was the big interruption. I was sending a letter saying, hey, I need to cancel the insurance. And then I need to get with another insurance company insurance for this motorcycle, which is going to cost more than double what the old insurance cost. And they have to inspect it. So overall, it's just like, oh my God. Okay. Like it's just annoying and expensive. Uh, and now I have to talk to the people at the workshop where I bought the motorcycle, because I bought it secondhand and at a shop, right? Like at a mechanics, and oh, it's like a dealership slash mechanics, and they are great, but they are not good at answering the phone or messages or anything like that. So, um, I might have to wait until 4 to see if they answer, and if not, I'm gonna have to call. So I might interrupt again at 4. Uh, Maybe I can talk to the other guy. And here's the thing, everybody sends audios, so it's like I can't read the message, I have to listen to the audios. At least they're not calling. Be right back. And we're back. um. So, aside from paying for the insurance and canceling the other insurance, they need to inspect the motorcycle. Now, fortunately, they can do that virtually, but so I have to contact somebody at the motorcycle shop that would take their call and make them a video showing them the motorcycle. Which, I mean, okay, whatever. I mean, right now, honestly, the major annoyance is just that it's going to cost me more money. But, you know, okay. Again, sorry about all those interruptions. What are you going to do? You know? And here comes an auto audio. Okay. Well, okay. So now it's like, okay, so give me a number for who I can call to make me the video on the motorcycle so we can expect it. I contact the guy that sold me the motorcycle. He says, okay, tell them to contact me. I give them the contact. The guy now tells me, wait, give them this other number, so I have to do that. So, yeah. So yeah, you know, it's all, honestly, it's all just part of it's all just part of the process, I guess. You know. Okay, now let me catch up in the chat room. Let me catch up in the chat room. So let's see. My understanding is AI takes pieces from already existing drawings. That must mean that the cat drawing must have an origin. It's a little bit more complex than that. It's part of it is that, but that is a little bit of an oversimplification. And believe me, I hate AI art. Like, I am 100% against it. I do not support it, and I do not want it in my community at all. It is not allowed in my community. No discussion. But it is a little bit more complex than just grabbing pieces of images and pasting them together to create a new image. And I do think it is important that we know that, because I've seen a lot of people arguing exactly that. And normally that argument can get knocked down very easily, right? Because you tell people, like, AI art is bad because it's just grabbing pieces of images and put them together. That's not how it's done, and then the argument falls. Still oversimplifying it, but not quite as much, would be to say that it takes pre-existing images and interpolates the new result. So I'm not an engineer. I don't work with that kind of stuff, so I can't really get more technical or any deeper than that. But as far as I understand, it takes pre-existing stuff and interpolates new things. So a lot of times it will literally copy paste something into the image, but it does do a certain level of manipulation to it to be able to interpret and get the new result. One of the things that is both the damnation and the proof of AI art in that sense is what happens with the hands, right? Like, when you see the hands in AI art and how they are all messed up, that is one of the damnations of AI art right now, although don't freak out, but they are starting to improve that. But if they were just chopping up and pasting, then the hands wouldn't be all messed up. They would just be hands that are well done that we've already seen, right? What it is doing is it's taking pieces of the images, using them, interpolating and interpreting, and getting the new result from there. But that's the thing, right? Like, it's it is what Timepool says. It's using images from a data set without consent to create a new image through interpretation and interpolation of the pre-existing images. Exactly that. What Sabrina says. It takes a gazillion images of cats, understand that what is pleasing to the eyes, at exactly how many pixels apart at this color, the ears like this, and then it interpolates, right? That's interpolation. Unfortunately, I have started to see good results with hands. Most of the good, I mean, not me doing AI. I don't do AI, but I've seen like posts, because I'm part of a Discord community that is against AI. And for example, hands that are just in like very neutral poses like this, it's starting to be able to do it. I mean, it's not for anybody to freak out. I mean, we knew they were gonna fix that, right? It's not like it was never gonna be able to figure it. But they still look very weird. The hands still look weird. So yeah. Let's see what's up. Okay. That's just spam. Okay. So yeah. Now let me continue down the chat. I really need a book that will suck me in. Everything I have started so far this year is just dragging. I'm tempted to toss The Handmaid's Tale in my did not finish shelf. Sabrina, Give me a genre that you're in. Okay, no, no. Oh, I mean, I see that people have recommended stuff in the chat room. That's great. Uh, um, yeah, I see that people have recommended stuff in the chat room. That's great. I'll give you my own recommendations, and there you go. Okay, so okay, one I can't actually recommend, but it's a book that I really, really want to read and has come highly recommended, is a book called Slaying the Dragon. If you want to maybe step away from fiction and novels and maybe read something a little different, which was what I did at the beginning of the year. At the beginning of the year, I read a book called Masters of Doom, which is a book about how John Carmack and John Romero, the rise and fall of id Software. Fascinating book. I could not put it down. It was so good. Well, there's another one that's similar to that one, which is called Slaying the Dragon, that I really, really want to read. And it's a book about how Gary Gygax made D&D and like the rise and fall of TSR and all that kind of stuff. So I recommend Masters of Doom if you want to read about that. But I really want to read Slaying the Dragon, which is about D&D. Especially with all that's happening these days with D&D, I think, so that one is a recommendation based on simply something that I want to read and I haven't read. Now, in science, right now I'm reading science fiction. I'm reading a Brandon Sanderson book from a series called Skyward. I'm reading the second book in that one, which is called Pew, what's it called? Starlight? Starsight. I think it's Starsight. Okay, Starsight. But the first book is called, thank you, but the first book is called Skyward. And it's young adult, sci-fi, but it is such a smooth read. It is buttery smooth. That book, you can just, it's a nice, meaty book, a lot of fun. Not like super heavy sci-fi, not like super intense sci-fi, but it is sci-fi. It's a great read, and it has a great pace. I really, really enjoyed the pace. I read the first one called Skyward, and I'm now reading the second one, which is called Starsight, and it's 3 books. The third one is called Cytonic. Um, so, okay, give me a second. Somebody is telling me something here. Uh, uh, now, as for other books, I would recommend if you want, maybe to go into cyberpunk a little bit. I am halfway through Snow Crash, and Snow Crash is awesome. It's wait, sorry, again, telling me something. Okay, so Snow Crash is awesome if you want to go into cyberpunk. It's a lot of fun, and also Snow Crash. Um, for example, Snow Crash is where the term metaverse. Um, well, I don't know if it's where it originated, but that's definitely like the current use of the word metaverse. Comes from Snow Crash. It's a very fun cyberpunk story, excellent rhythm, got a little bit of action, got a little bit of cyberpunk weirdness to it. I really, really, I was almost done with it, but when I read it again, I'm going to start over. Where did I put my list? So yes, those are two recommendations. Skyward and Snow Crash. If you want to go into fantasy, this one I did read, and I'm actually going to reread it this year. Where is my list? Where did I put that list? Um, I would go with the Deathgate Cycle. The Deathgate Cycle is a little bit. It's a little bit younger in terms of young adult fantasy. It's a little bit on the younger side for sure. But I love the Deathgate Cycle. It's so much fun. And I'm gonna read it again this year. So the Deathgate Cycle is a fantasy series that I love. If you want a heavy sci-fi recommendation, I love Rama, Rendezvous with Rama. It's a 6-book series. I've read the 4 first. I just found out last year that there was another 2. So I'm going to reread it. And it is such a good read because it's one of those books that is really big and fat, but each chapter's like 2 pages. So it's one of those books that is very, very difficult to put down because you're reading it. And since each chapter is like a couple of pages, you just have that one more chapter thing. And I love Rendezvous with Rama. Like the Hail Mary project that you recommended to me, if you're gonna read Rendezvous with Rama, definitely try to not know anything about it. Because the thing that makes Rama so interesting is uh the wondering what it is. So definitely I recommend the Rama series. So that is um Skyward, Snow Crash, Slaying the Dragon, Masters of Doom, Deathgate Cycle, Rendezvous with Rama, uh, and I don't know if Pew has any recommendations. I mean, Pew reads like 10 times more than me. Uh, Rendezvous with Rama is by Arthur C. Clarke. I'm gonna spell it out for you. Arthur C. Clarke is the same writer of 2001: Space Odyssey. Uh, uh, okay, and I have to listen to one more thing from my insurance guy. So here we go again. You okay? Okay. Time Pool, sorry to hear about your migraine. Unfortunately, I can't say anything about migraines since I don't have them. But Mao always says that when he has migraines, he drinks coffee with lemon, which honestly sounds disgusting, but that's what he says helps him with his migraines. So that is unsolicited advice from a guy that has never had a migraine in his life. So keep that in mind. But Mao says coffee with lemon helps him. So anyway, I hope you feel better. I just wanted to feel useful. Now, after all those interruptions, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and I'll be right back. I need to pee. Okay, and we're back. Oh yeah, Pew's recommendation of Leigh Bardugo books. I don't know if you saw the series on Netflix that was called, I think it was called something in Bones, Blood and Bones, Bones and Blood, Bones and Bones, Bloody Bones, something like that. Which was actually not bad. Um, and I started up reading Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, and it was really, really good. Um, there's a lot of books that I don't finish, not because I wasn't enjoying them, but just because life interrupts me somehow and I just kind of lose track. It happens to me a lot. Oh, you had it on what? You didn't have it on Cuda? Oh, you mean the series? Uh, mm, Felix, I don't really know myself which one is better, but my friend that works with 3D, that is like a 3D artist, he works in the video game industry, he told me that he preferred CUDA. So I'm using CUDA. I uh, um I can't give you like an objective reason because I don't know. He just told me. He told me that he preferred using CUDA because apparently CUDA was like, yeah, he told me CUDA was the right one. So yeah, so between CUDA and optics, he said CUDA. I use CUDA. As for why, didn't even ask. Certain things I'd rather just go like you're the expert and that's it. Oh, um, he also recommends a lot Schwab books. I forget the full name of Schwab, but or I know that one of Pew's favorites is The Book of Life by Deborah Harkness. I don't know if she would include it in her recommendation. I assume she would. Darker Shade of Magic is what? Schwab? So yeah, these are all recommendations that I can vouch for. Nat class, hello. How goes it? How goes it, Nat class? Oh my god. Uh, he was trying to kill me. You were in a meeting? Okay. Uh, how how goes it? Well, I was about to start a story. It was story time. I was about to start a story about my adventures yesterday. Uh, uh um, Buying a motorcycle. So, of course, uh, it's me. So you know that if it's me, something has to happen, right? So yesterday we okay. So let me contextualize you all. After the last move to this new apartment in November, we live way up the mountain. Like we live way up the mountain. Up here, it's even colder, right? Than like down where Mao lives, you actually notice the difference in temperature and stuff like that. So like yeah, like I like we are living way up the mountain now and all that kind of stuff. And so yesterday we did the whole process. I'm sorry. Yesterday we did the whole process of taking the motorcycle, the old one, leaving it there, and starting the whole process to get the new one, right? So we went down the mountain, which is about a 40 to 50-minute walk, but all downhill. But first we did that on the old motorcycle. We left it there, and then we walked up the mountain. It's like a 50-minute walk up the mountain. We get here, Oh, I'm sorry. And we get a call from the motorcycle place saying, like, hey, you guys can come buy the motorcycle right now. So, like, we get in here, we sit down for like 5 minutes, and immediately walk down the mountain again to buy the motorcycle. Now, the thing is, the cost of the motorcycle, the owner, for some reason, wanted it in cash. Now, I know that sounds very shady, right? But like, this is all, like, you know, I didn't deal with, like, the owner of the motorcycle directly. This is through a dealership. So in the dealership, they let you pay however you want. And I was going to pay with a bank transfer. They told me at the dealership, hey, the owner says he prefers it in cash. I told them, no way, dude. I'm not going to pay in cash. What are you, crazy? I'm going to pay you with a bank transfer. But then it turns out that, you know, you can't just do that transfer from your phone or anything like that. So the guy at the dealership tells me, like, why don't you just go get the cash at the bank and pay the guy in cash? He wants it in cash. Like, I mean, what does it matter to you? Well, you know, okay, if I have to go to the bank and pay, okay, whatever. So at this point, it is almost 5 o'clock. It's like 4:30 or something like that. And the bank is 6 blocks away from the motorcycle dealership. So, like, okay, you know what? We're going to walk to the bank, and then we're going to walk back with a big load of cash in our backpacks, but, you know, let's see how this goes. So we walk the six blocks to the bank, and we get there, and of course, there's a line. It's the end of the day. It's a bank. There's a line. So we get our turn, and we sit down and just, you know, talk for a while we wait for it to be our turn. The motorcycle dealership closes at 6, but that's really not that important. So it closes at 6, but the bank closes at 5:30. So at 5:20, our turn comes up. Now, of course, when they close at 5:30, they don't just kick you out. They close the doors and nobody can get in anymore, but they finish with the people that are already there. So at 5:20, our turn comes up. And we go to the counter, and we're like, okay, we need to get this much money out. And she's like, okay, can I see your ID? My ID was at the motorcycle shop where they were doing all the paperwork for the motorcycle. So I'm like, oh, fuck. I left my ID. I can go get it. The motorcycle block is 6 blocks away. And she tells us, well, the bank closes at 5:30. Do you think you can make it there and return before 5:30? And so I look at Pew and I'm like, I can do it. I can do it. And so she tells me, okay, but you gotta make it back by 6:30, because if you don't, they'll close the bank and they won't let you in. And so I couldn't run out the bank, because you can't just, like, I mean, could you imagine, like, if I'm at the counter inside of the bank and I just suddenly turn around and run out of there? Like, of course I'm going to be tackled at the entrance. So I have to calmly walk out the bank. It's 5:21 at this moment. Walk out the bank, go down the stairs, walk up a little bit, and then break into a sprint. 6 blocks to the motorcycle shop. It's a little bit uphill. I get there and I feel like I'm going to explode. And when I get there, the guy's standing there like, "What happened to you?" And I'm just like, "I forgot." And the other guy is like, "Oh, you forgot your ID, didn't you?" And I'm just, in my mind, it's going, "You couldn't send me a message when I left." Like this, okay. So I just take the ID and I'm like, "I'll be right back." And sprint all the way back to the bank, get to the stairs. Again, don't run. Walk up the stairs, walk into the bank. And I think it was 5:29 when I crossed the door into the bank. And not gonna lie, not gonna lie, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. Like, yeah, look, Ma, look how fast I can run. Um, but yeah, that was. I mean, it wouldn't be like, it wouldn't be buying a motorcycle with O Abnormal if you didn't have one of those situations come up. You know, like it's just part of being me. Hmm. Yeah, no, like, we haven't been able to go to the gym this week, and we've been feeling very guilty because, no, you feel guilty when you don't go to the gym, right? And but yesterday, going up and down the mountain, uh, like twice, and sprinting, uh, 12 city blocks in 8 minutes. But yeah, I think I got my workout.
The era of metal has begun, and metal shall prevail. For we know what they have done.
Well,
Five legends of our realm who sought to follow the
Sonic has that music that plays when you're gonna drown. Um,
but they did not know what they had summoned.
but
Kentucky,
uh, since I live with Pew,
creatures,
um,
there is but one thing
Pew
left.
has this thing where whenever she is in a hurry,
Metal.
she starts humming to herself "The Barber of Seville." And in this house, "The Barber of Seville," like ever since we're together, "The Barber of Seville" became the official music of when you're in a hurry. And it is to the point that if we're like, I don't know, getting dressed or cooking or whatever, and we are in a hurry, we like unconsciously now start humming "The Barber of Seville." Of course, not all "The Barber of Seville," but like, we're, I don't know, cooking or doing dishes and we're in a hurry and we just start like, and that's and it just became like what we officially do whenever we're in a hurry. So like, if Pew is like putting on her makeup or something and we have to leave, and I tell like, "Hey Pew, we're leaving in 1 minute," she immediately starts going beep 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 beep. Yeah, that part, because the rest of it is pretty chill. So, not gonna lie, yesterday as I was running through the streets, in the back of my mind, it was going like the Barber of Seville was playing. I know about Initial D, but I've never actually watched it or listened to it. Um, and the only reason I know about Initial D, although I've always been intrigued by it because it looks pretty cool, but the reason I know about Initial D is because one time I was at a convention. I think it was um, maybe what was Katsucon or maybe it was Kineticon. I don't know. I don't remember which convention it was, but I was at a convention and um, it was like one of my first conventions, so it was probably Kineticon, and I didn't know that they made uh, AMV competitions. Like that was a new thing to me. So I was walking by from maybe a panel I was giving or something, and suddenly I look into an auditorium and I see like anime on a screen, and it looked really cool. And it was Initial D, and I didn't know what an AMV competition was, so I kind of went in to check it out, and that's when I discovered AMV competition, anime music video competitions. I don't know if they still do them. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. Uh, but yeah, like these competitions where people just make music videos out of anime and they compete to see who did the best job. It was really, really interesting. Ranking of Kings. And where is this anime? Okay. Uh, am I going to be? No, no, no. I mean, it's not supposed to be finished today. Or do you guys want me? I mean, what would I be showing? Like, You know, Thanatos, that reminds me that I really need to do my homework on YouTube rules. I really need to do my homework on that. Because I honestly have no idea what I'm doing here. Like, not gonna lie. I'm just here, like, winging it totally, and okay. Yeah, I'm glad you're having fun, Mo. I am very curious about what you ended up doing because you said at the beginning that you had like nothing. So I'm glad you got something. I'm wondering what that something is, but you know, Mao got a Mao. But supposedly, again, no expert, but supposedly the new YouTube, the latest iteration of rules on YouTube, also goes against violent video games. But you know, I don't really. Okay, let's do one last possibility before we decide which one we want to continue. I'm gonna do something a little different for the last possibility. Does anybody have a preference up until now? I appreciate you jumping in with both feet approach rather than trying to do all the research before you start. You know, I thought back, what? Now or never. 2023, year of YouTube. So, what's the story on these? Is there a narrative? Yes and no. Uh, there's there's three aspects to this drawing. One, probably the most significant, that I bought a motorcycle yesterday and I have motorcycles on my mind. By the way, none of what shows up here is representative of what I plan to do with the motorcycle. But yeah. Um uh Two, um I've had this idea in my head for a while. I've actually had this idea in my head for 2 or 3 years because I've had this idea in my head ever since I started using 3D to help do 2D. So ever since then, I've had like an idea, something like this in my head. because motorcycles are very difficult to draw. And I thought, hey, 3D would be awesome to do it. So I've had this idea in my head ever since then. And 3, so yeah, 1, bought a motorcycle, got motorcycles on my head. 2, have this idea ever since I started doing 3D. And 3, I wanted to do a long process image because one of the things that was holding me back with the YouTube channel was the idea that if I post a time lapse of art on YouTube, I kind of felt that like I had to make an entire image and post a video of that. And I've seen several artists for a while now that they don't do that. They just post a part of the process, talk about it, and then they, next video, they post the next step in the process and stuff like that. They take it through several videos. Now, the specific case I'm talking about is Adam Duff. He doesn't post like one image per video. He posts a video with the process, and he just, up until the point where he talks about some topic that normally has nothing to do with the image, and then his next video continues that image and he talks about something else. I'm going to do something a little different with this image. I'm going to post the process of the image up to a certain point, like up until where it is, but I'm going to talk about something relevant to that. So this video specifically is going to be a video about sketching out ideas. And the main point I'm going to be trying to make is that as artists, it is very beneficial to learn that your sketches don't need to look good. I think it's very, very detrimental to the process of many artists that a lot of people post sketches on social media, and how social media is detrimental to artists is like a completely different can of worms. But I think a lot of artists see people posting sketches on social media, and those sketches look beautiful. And I think that, and this happens to me as well, as artists, we tend to get this sort of idea in our head that an image has to be beautiful 100% of the way. Like right from the start to the end, an image has got to be spectacular. And I think that has a very negative impact in our workflow and in what we do. And I think a lot of artists, we would benefit from being able to just accept the idea that an image is not going to look finished until it's finished. And that in many, many different parts of the process, an image can look unpolished, crappy, and stuff like that. So the idea is that when you're exploring ideas, you're exploring ideas. I'm not here trying to prove that I can draw. I'm not here trying to prove that I can draw the best motorcycle, and I'm not here trying to prove how great I am. I'm just trying to find an idea. So if we can let go of that necessity of everything looking beautiful 100% of the way, it unlocks a lot of potential, it unlocks a lot of possibility, and it will make our workflow go so much better if we take this idea out of our heads that sketches have to look spectacular. No, sketches are sketches. And yeah, it's like we see a lot of work in progress posted online, but it always looks spectacular. And I always want to, like, I never do this, I never comment on it, but every time somebody posts a work in progress, I always want to comment, like, did you polish your sketch? Did you polish your work in progress? Like, because, and the worst thing is people say in the comments, Like, oh, your sketches look better than than my finished image. It's like, yeah, because he polished the sketch as if it were a finished image. It's not because, like, no, that's not how it goes, right? It's gonna look like crap until it doesn't. That's the thing. Um. Okay, let's do one more idea, and then we'll. Well, I see that everybody likes B. I also like B. I'm gonna explore one more, and then we call it. Okay, what are we up to? Mhm. Wait. Okay. So what's everybody got going on this weekend? Mao, are you on your own now? Thanatos, what are your opinion on people who take pieces of images then distorts and edits them together? Do you mean specifically photo bashing? Or do you mean like photo bashing and concept art and stuff like that? Or do you mean like just that as a illustration technique? Um, okay. Okay, is Thanatos, is it? Oh no, wait. You send it through a private message. Okay. Is that considered photo bashing? Okay. No. No. It's that is closer to collage. Wait, let me check it because maybe you can just post it in the art section for people to see what I'm talking about. No, I mean, okay, but uh, yeah, like I don't know if you want to show it to the rest of people in the Discord. I don't really know if it's but anyway, uh, so okay, so what is the difference between photo bashing and collage? Collage is when you take uh, pre-existing images and you paste them together, cut pieces of them, and put them together to generate a new image. Normally, a collage will be composed of many different images, not just one. Um, and uh, normally in collage, it would not be identifiable the photo from where things came from, right? Like you're not going to be able um, to like identify any of the photos. That's normally kind of a rule that goes with copyright issues in collage. So you're normally not supposed to be able to see where it came from in collage. Photo bashing is different. Photo bashing normally uh, will be using uh, a painting, right? Like there normally is painting involved with photo bashing. It's like well done. It's normally not just the photo images and stuff like that. And what photo bashing normally is that it's going to take mostly photographic textures as a way to make the different textures in an image. So and it's normally used as a way to make the image appear more photoreal, right? So um you're gonna use textures that you found for the rocks, textures that you found for the trees and stuff like that, and it's normally combined with painting to generate this sort of realistic effect. But mostly the reason it's used is because it saves a lot of time, right? Instead of you having to, I don't like this. Instead of you having to sit down and just manually paint all the grass, you can very skillfully bring in the textures for the grass, for the rock, for the elephant, for stuff like that. Now, like Sabrina says, normally in the field of concept art, it's used with very, very, very creative kind of applications. So you're going to take the texture from this and apply it to this. That is not bad. So yeah, you'll take the elephant skin texture and apply it on an alien so that the alien looks a certain way. Or you're going to take the texture from a rock and apply it to this so that it looks like that and stuff like that. Photo bashing will frequently use complete pieces of photos. So, maybe they'll bring in an entire little piece of a forest to put out there in the distance and stuff like that. But normally when they do that, it's not very good photo bashing and it looks very photo bashed. And photo bash is normally used in the field of concept art because it saves time. And in concept art, the final result of the image is not really what they're looking for, right? They're just looking for an idea that they can later on make in 3D and all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't really matter if the image looks a little bit wonky or looks a little bit weird or stuff like that, because what they're really, really looking for is an idea so that then they can make the finished product for real. Nonetheless, some artists that I've personally learned from that were photo bashers are brilliant. You see it a lot in the video game industry, although you also see a lot of bad stuff in the video game industry. But if you, well, it's a risky thing to say, like, so absolute, but if you're looking, for example, it happened to me a lot in the past, and it still happens. If you're looking at video game concept art, and you're looking at it and you're thinking, holy crap, how do they paint this to look so real? It's because it is real. It's photo bashed. So, like, if you look at something like The Last of Us concept art, or a lot of Naughty Dog concept art, you know, Uncharted, The Last of Us, most of their concept art is photo bashed. But I will say this for the sake of transparency, the photo bash artists that I have studied and that have taught me are perfectly capable of painting the entire image on their own. They're just saving time. The specific artist that I'm referring to is called James Pack. And if you look at James Pack work, James Pack, like, even before he photo bashes the image, it already looks amazing. It already looks way, way better than anything I could ever do, even before he photo bashes it. If anybody wants to know who I'm talking about, his name is James Pack. I spelled it in the chat room because his last name is not pronounced as it is spelled. So, yeah. And he is a brilliant artist. And yeah, he, like, before he starts photo bashing, the image already looks incredible. Now, before I say if I am for or against collage, when it comes to photo bashing, I am not against photo bashing unless we're talking about me doing it. I don't do it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I like the pleasure and the technique of painting and drawing, and I don't care if it's going to save me time. I'm not into the idea of photo bashing. Which is also the reason I would never ever work for something like a game like Call of Duty or Last of Us or Uncharted or any of those games, because those games require a lot of realism in their concept art. Therefore, they need you to photo bash. I am not against photo bashing as long as it is disclosed, right? I am very much against photo bashing when artists photo bash but don't accept that they're photo bashing, right? Which does happen a lot. You'll see a lot of artists that will publish amazing art, but they're just basically going to say that they painted it all themselves, and that's not true. So, okay, I see your question. I don't get how collage and photo bashing is different. The purpose of photo bashing, I mean, there's similarity in that they're both grabbing pre-existing images and using them to create a new image. And, hey, topic of the month, or more topic of the season, you'll see a lot of similarities with AI art. How is that different? Collage, in and of itself, is a technique, just like photo bashing is a technique. And they have similarities. Now, the purpose of photo bashing is to save time and push realism. Photo bashing is mostly focused on texture, although not entirely, right? It's not entirely focused on texture, but it is mostly focused on texture and pushing realism while saving time in a painting. Collage is different because collage is more about the mixture of techniques. So, collage is about bringing many different elements together to create a new image, but that mixture of elements and of techniques is what makes collage what it is. So a collage image can have newspaper cuttings, magazine cuttings, pieces of photos put in, but you can also put in a piece of cloth. You can paste some actual object that you had in your house. Collage is all about the mixture of techniques. And collage at no moment needs or is required to hide the fact that it's mixing techniques, because mixing techniques is the point, right? So when you get an image that is a collage, the pieces that you pasted into the image can look pasted, and it can look like a big mixture of things. Of course, that doesn't mean that collage does not necessarily need to worry about aesthetics, although that's subjective. Of course, in both cases, photo bashing and collage, there is a concern with composition, harmony, color. All these things are going to work. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of examples, and I think that might help a lot with what we're talking about. This guy is going to be okay. And we're also going to go with... okay, so first I'm going to show you some collage. Now, for collage, I'm going to show you a very, very famous artist. His name is... I'm just selecting which image I'm going to show you. Okay, wait. I'm going to use this image. Okay, so for collage, I'm going to show you work from an artist called Dave McKean. Now, Dave McKean is a brilliant artist, although in my opinion, he did not go hard enough on AI. He kind of wanted to reach a middle ground with AI, and I'm not in favor of that, but whatever. You would know Dave McKean's work because Dave McKean worked a lot with I think he did the covers for the Sandman comics after a certain point, and he even made a movie, which I love, that is called Mirror Mask. Now, if you look at Dave McKean's work, he's going to mix a lot of different techniques. A lot of different techniques are going to come into play in his work, but at no moment does Dave McKean try to hide the fact that he is mixing techniques, right? He actually plays into it. It's part of the technique that it's a mixture of techniques, and that is part of the aesthetic, and that is part of what he does. Now, if you look, there's still harmony. There's still composition. He still handles the color. It's not like he can just paste stuff together and be done with it. This is collage. What you're seeing here, this is collage, but it's a mixture. It's not just that he grabbed a bunch of photos and put them together. There's elements of painting. There's photographic elements. There's color balancing, composition, all these kind of things. But like I said, at no moment does Dave McKean try to hide the fact that he did a collage, right? That's not part of it. Here's another image by Dave McKean. This is from Sandman, from the comic. I don't know if he worked on the series, but this is from Sandman, and as you'll see, this is collage. And there's a bunch of stuff here mixed. And of course, Dave McKean can also paint. Now, another example of collage I'm going to give you, because I want to show you different kinds of collage, is one of my personal favorite artists, which is called David Mack. And I'm going to show you... now, does this mean that I normally go for artists named David? No. Yeah, he's done a lot of comics. He did, I think he did, no, wait, the Arkham Asylum comic was somebody else. Oh yeah, I know he did do a Joker comic. And he also did a comic, a very famous comic called Mr. Punch. Okay. Now this other artist, let's close Dave McKean for now. No, actually, let's leave Dave McKean there for a minute. Okay. Now this other artist is one of my favorite artists. And his name is David Mack. And David Mack also does collage. But if you look at David Mack, his collage is very different from Dave McKean's. Because David Mack does a lot more drawing and painting, and then he pastes elements into it. But a lot of times, those elements that he pastes into it, he also made himself. So I love David Mack's work. It's absolutely beautiful. But if you look at the work that he does, it's normally going to be a combination of elements that he created. He created all of them. So if you look, for example, at this one, you're going to find textures. You're going to find a drawing that he made. He's going to put in some writing. He's going to do a bunch of different elements. And that's going to be his work. Again, a lot of harmony, a lot of composition, all those things. Here's another one I think is beautiful. As you can see here, he, like, this piece of string that you got right here, he literally pasted in an actual string, and I think this is a piece of cloth. And here he has some textured papers and cutouts and stuff like that. Now, I've had the pleasure of meeting Mr. David Mack. And he showed me one of his finished art pieces. And it's normally like a stack of paper like this thick. He uses many, many different materials, and he stacks them on top of each other, and he tapes them, and he puts transparent layers, and all this kind of stuff. And David Mack works a lot for Marvel. David Mack actually did Daredevil for a while. I don't know what he's doing right now. I know he did the covers for the Fight Club comics. But if you look at Daredevil by David Mack, here's a page. Here's a page of Daredevil by David Mack. And you can see it. Like he's really like bringing in many different techniques, painting, pasting stuff. Then he writes on a piece of paper and he pastes that and all that kind of stuff. And that is still collage. Now, one thing that would help us a lot in art if we stop thinking about techniques as exclusive. Like, you can draw and paint and do collage, and it's valid, right? Like, if you do drawing, it doesn't mean you can't bring other stuff into it. Same thing with digital. You can do paper and digital in the same thing. So, and this is for Marvel. And he would show, like, he showed me, like, he had this huge case of, like, stacks of paper this thick, and that was one page for Daredevil. And I even asked him, like, hey, what about scanning that? And he told me, that's their problem, not mine. I just give them this to scan, and they have to deal with it. But, that's what you can do when you're a famous artist like David Mack. Beautiful, beautiful work. Interesting little bit of trivia with David Mack's Daredevil is that David Mack uses live models for his work. So a lot of the female models that he uses are his wife. Like he works a lot with his wife as a model. I didn't have the pleasure of meeting his wife. He has a lot of other people though that modeled for him. But in the case of Daredevil, since he had to do so many drawings of Daredevil. He is the model for Daredevil. The David Mack comics, where you see Daredevil, he is the model for Daredevil. And yeah, he's like this. He's like this jacked, muscular, like guy. like he's yeah. I mean, no other way to put it. Like, when you see Daredevil in the comics, that's David Mack, body and face. It's a little difficult to find for me right now, just on Google, but there are several Daredevil images. That, like, where he actually just looks like Daredevil. So this is collage. This that you're seeing here is collage, and you can see the pieces of tape and the pieces of extra stuff that he added and all that kind of stuff. So these are collage. Now I'm going to show you photo bashing, and you're going to see a very big difference. Wait, no. Okay. This is by artist James Pack. This is by artist James Pack. This is photo bashing. Now, if you look carefully, you're going to see here in the rubble, and you can start, like, when you zoom in, you can start seeing differences a little bit in the lighting and the texture that make it very, very obvious that this piece here was a photo texture that he put in. And when you look at this building back here, this is the photo of a building that he put in. And you can see up here, these are photos that the artist brought in, manipulated, changed the perspective, and blended them into the image to make one final image that does not look like he just grabbed a bunch of stuff and pasted it together. It looks like one cohesive, very realistic image. Here's another one by James Pack. And again, you look at it, it looks super real. But if you look with attention, you'll start seeing parts that he actually did paint. Like, here you can see stuff that he painted, but then you can look at the mountains and you'll start to see, like, some photos laid on top of it and stuff like that, and stuff back here that he clearly painted. But over here, where he needs that extra touch of realism, these things here are definitely photos that he brought in and just manipulated a bit to adapt to the image that he has here. And that's going to be like the essence of photo bashing. That you're trying to make it into an image that doesn't look like a collage. You're trying to make it look like an image that just looks like a very realistic, amazing image. So that's going to happen. You're going to see brush strokes. You're going to see parts that definitely look like a photo, but at the end, when you look at it this way, it's like, yeah, it looks very real. It looks amazing, and you don't look at it and you yell, photo bash. No, you look at it and you say, oh, that's a very realistic looking image. And the end. Now, again, I've studied with James Pack, so I know he can paint, but he needs to make these images really fast, right? He needs to make these images really, really fast, several a day. So they are here to save time, and you start to notice it. Look, for example, at this fish right here. See that fish? That is this fish right here. It's the same fish. It's very obvious. It's the same fish. He flipped it over. You start to find like those sort of cracks in the stuff that is in photo bashing, because you start to see those repeated textures. this here and this here are the same thing, repeated. This guy is probably a photo that was retouched. This food was probably a photo that was just plopped in there. The texture of this grill is probably just a photo that was put in there. Stuff like that. And then you'll see some parts where he doesn't feel the need to polish it too much. Like here, the brush strokes here and stuff like that. Doesn't all have to be polished. Photo bashers are very, very, very good at understanding how a person looks at an image and how a person reads an image. They're very, very good at that. And that's where one of my major issues with photo bashing comes from. Photo bashing is a shortcut. And I think that the best example I can give, or the best explanation I've heard of why photo bashing is not valid for people that are just learning how to draw, is because photo bashing is a shortcut. You need to learn the fundamentals. You need to learn composition. You need to learn lighting. You need to learn all those things before you can start taking shortcuts. If you take shortcuts while you're still learning, you're never going to actually learn how to do the thing. Right? So normally photo bashing is not for beginners. Now, I'm not a fan of photo bashing. I don't like photo bashing. But so I don't want anybody to think that when I say photo bashing is not for beginners, that I mean that photo bashing is an advanced technique that we should all aspire to eventually. No, what I mean to say is that for a person that is learning, photo bashing is going to skip parts of the learning process, which will make it eventually so that the person actually never learned how to do that. So, for example, texturing. Texturing is an important part of what we learn. And if we don't learn proper texture, I don't know what happened with the music, by the way. I'm normally not in a metal mood when I'm streaming. But anyway, like if we don't learn proper texturing, or if we just learn texturing through photo bashing, we're never going to actually learn texturing. And that's going to be a problem later on, right? Same with composition. Photo bashing requires very good composition. If you don't learn composition the old-fashioned way, and you just learn it through photo bashing, you're never going to learn proper composition, and your photo bashed images are always going to look super weird and super fake. So that's photo bashing and collage and the difference. And I definitely hope that explanation like perspective is such a requirement for a good photo bash. And if you don't know perspective and you do photo bashing, it shows, because everything is going to have like this wonky perspective to it. And one of the things I learned very, very early in school when I was learning perspective is the eye can forgive bad anatomy to a point, but the eye will never forgive bad perspective. Like, that is one that immediately gets noticed. So yeah. So hopefully that explanation of the difference between photo bashing and collage was good and useful.